Good afternoon and welcome to another in the series of Let's Talk Health. I am your host Neeka Anderson Isaacs, and with me this afternoon to talk health is Acting Senior Chief Nutritionist Joyce Burgin, and we'll be talking about nutrition and health.
Thank you very much, Ms. Isaacs, for having me on the program, and again, it's happy to be here.
Right, so we're looking at back to school right now, and we also know that a lot of people are more into exercise and fitness, and that is lovely, but there needs to be a balance for us to see the results that we really want in terms of the nutritional aspect of it. So we're going to ask you to talk to us briefly about these two areas: going back to school, nutritional values, tips for parents, and for persons exercising and into fitness, how the nutritional aspect of their diet is important to them receiving the results that they want.
Okay, a long list of items we have to talk about today. And definitely going back to school is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be happiness, and you're supposed to be enjoying life in general. Education starts with you being healthy. If you're not healthy, then you're not going to be able to educate yourself well. And so we would want Vincentians to make sure that while you go back to school, you make sure that your children start eating healthy. What is healthy eating? Eating balanced meals from all of the 6 basic food groups.
Which are
your food from animals, your staples, your legumes, your vegetables, your fruits, and of course your fats and oils. And what we want is that you try as much as possible to create the right balance among these foods. And from time to time, we give you tips, we give you advice, we give you hints on how best to balance. One of our major problems, however, will always and seem to always be not enough fruits and vegetables as well as legumes in our daily diet.
So we're not portioning our meals properly.
Not portioning our meals properly in terms of fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Why we say that? And when we talk about nuts, we talk about legumes, seeds, nuts. They all come in one group, and they are the richest sources of protein from the plant kingdom. But very often people don't understand that you can actually replace your animal protein with your legumes. And so we want Vincentians to understand that you should eat them on a daily basis. Eat fruits and vegetables on a daily basis.
But create a picture like for what a parent can do to make the meal friendly and exciting for the children, including all of these food groups that is necessary to eat from.
Okay, take for instance, you want to make sure you have food from all of the groups every day. So you start at breakfast time. You're going to make sure that at breakfast you at least give your child a fruit. Start your day with a fruit. And sometimes we say, what fruit? What do our children like? We have lots of fruits in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So use the ones that are available and make sure that you put them alongside their plate, their saucer, whatever you serve in their breakfast, and you put it there. You can put it in their cereal. You can use dried fruit if you don't have a regular fruit. And when we talk about dried fruit, we're talking about prunes and raisins and currants, etc. Those two can replace your real, ripe, fresh, natural fruits on a day-to-day basis. Again, you can do that into your snack times. You encourage them to use snacks as peanuts on a day-to-day basis. They can have some fruit, they can have things like popcorn. Those are healthy snacks.
But even in the cereal, they could like slice bananas or apples and incorporate it in the meal.
Definitely, and this again will be based on your child's likes and dislikes. You don't want to force them, but at the same time you encourage them. You, the parents, would be the ones setting the example. So once their child see you eating it that way, they are more likely to start eating it that way because mommy and daddy is doing it, auntie, whoever is the caregiver of the children. They are doing it, and so you can do it. Again, one of the things you can do for lunchtime, if you know you have children who's going to give you trouble eating their food, try doing one-pot meals because it's difficult to be out there fidgeting with different portions of food at school. And so if you can do one-pot meals for school.
Like pillow?
Like a pillow, like another
Saltfish
and rice, exactly. And you season it well, and then you give them a fruit to go along with it, or a rich fruit juice. Not something that is going to come out of a bottle that is just going to be sugar and water. try as much as possible to let your children eat wholesome foods. That way you know for sure they're going to be growing healthy and strong, learning and taking in their lessons well as when they do their exercises, etc. They're going to be fine because they're going to have enough of the nutrients that are necessary to maintain healthy, strong bones, etc., to do their fitness activities on a day-to-day basis.
What about milk and cheese?
Milk and cheese are excellent. You can give your children boxed milk to take along for their snack, or you can also give them chunks of cheese to eat in between, with whether it's going to be crackers or whatever. Or you can make a cheese sandwich for the children who do not necessarily like to take to school a cooked meal every day. You can give them cheese sandwiches. You can also intermix and use things like tuna fish. You can use your other local fish. You can use them at breakfast time. You can use them making fish fingers, etc. for your children, which will be nice and tasty and easy for them to take along and also to use as breakfast items.
Nice. So we're not going to leave the adults out because they're important and we need it to be healthy and strong, but we also need you to reduce your levels of salt and reduce the levels of sugar. Exercising, balance in your diet with exercise, how important is that?
Okay, again, we want you to maintain your exercise levels on a regular basis. So you can't say you're exercising once a week, once a month, or you jump into some fitness thing for a couple of days and then you are out. Pick something that you can sustain. So if you know it's going to be walking, if you know it's going to be swimming, if you know it's going to be dancing, you stick to that and you're going to be doing it on a day-to-day basis. You're going to make sure that you get the maximum benefit from it by doing your 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. You go up to fit your schedule and you do it at least 4 times per week. And you're going to be in tip-top shape.
What about the nutritional side to balance that?
Okay, while you're doing that, you have to make sure that you use enough fluids. You ensure that you're getting in your extra water, your extra electrolytes, so that your body maintain a good pH balance. Okay, so while you're going to be doing your exercises, make sure that you're taking the necessary food 2 hours before you start your exercise. It should be the last time you have your meal, and then you do your exercise, then you cool down your body, and then you can eat maybe an hour and a half after. When you're eating after your exercise, try not to consume too much food that you put back in excess calories, which you think you would have burnt off, because you know for sure you want to maintain your level of fitness.
So like the 2 hours before exercise, like what is okay to eat?
2 hours before, basically you should have a high carbohydrate meal, because that is what is going to give you the energy to do your exercise. So don't go starving out yourself and then going to exercise rigorously, because chances are you're going to suffer from dehydration, you're going to suffer from where you call it lack of energy, basically, where you have a lot of lactic acid built up because you don't have enough energy reserves to do the necessary amount of exercise. So you make sure that you eat what we refer to as your pre-game meal, which is going to be a carbohydrate-rich meal. And when we say carbohydrate, we're talking about your starchy foods, okay? You're going to make sure that it's not high in protein foods, which is your meats, your peas, etc. You're going to leave those out until after. So you're really going to make sure that if you're going to have a big meal, then you're going to have to wait longer than 2 hours. So if you know your lunch is 1 o'clock, try not to exercise before 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, sounds just about right to fit my schedule.
Definitely.
Any final tips for persons? We know it's back to school. Any final tips you want to give?
Okay, parents, make sure that you give your children a good breakfast. Make sure you teach them good habits as much as possible. Limit the amount of money you give them and let them make healthy choices. Tell them what are the better things to buy when they go to school. Try as much as possible to stay away from the green fruits that are being served at the vendors as much as possible. Try and let your children know that they should not be buying those, because that's a recipe for predisposing them for hypertension, which is one of our major chronic non-communicable diseases. And here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we know that we are now advocating that as much as possible we cut down on salt. And so try as much as possible, give your children that guidance every day, and if possible, put their snacks for them and keep the money at home.
Good, so we're going to remember to read our food labels and choose less salt. We're going to reduce salt for a healthier lifestyle, and then we're going to be like me don't be salty. Thank you so much for being a part of our program, and we'll definitely catch up with you for more tips and other nutritional values in more programs to come.
Thank you very much.